Welcome back to the Week 13 edition of the Ravens Roundtable. And I'm going to go ahead and bring all my co-hosts in and just forget the particulars and all that. We're going to bring them in. We're going to get started so we can talk about what we think we saw yesterday. Start with Mike. What up, Mike?
What up, family? What's good, people?
Hey, welcome in OTR Mike, who has the podcast called Open Mic with OTR Mike. 5 episode dropped tonight. Well, this morning, sorry. And make sure you go check that out, and we'll plug all that stuff as the show goes on.
Appreciate you, Coach.
Somebody just asked for you, Chris, so we're going to bring you on second. Brent asks Chris on tonight. There's Chris right there.
What's going on, fellas? Happy to be here tonight. Happy everybody who's tuning in, and let's get to it.
Don't do my man Chris like that, Brent. He only missed one show. You know what I'm saying?
He tried to call you out. Next up, we got Hendo.
What's going on?
What's good? You can catch Hendo on YouTube at Ravens Online Ungatekeep. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And before we get started, you want to talk about the guy behind you?
Oh, you mean that guy? King Huntley? The new king of Baltimore? Nah, we'll get into him later.
Okay, cool. And last but not least, we want to bring in our LBHT crew, Jose and B.
What's going on? What's going on, Coach? What's going on, everybody?
And we'll get to where you can find everybody's stuff toward the end. But let's just kind of dive into this because it is what it is. We won 10-9 versus a horrible Broncos team, and I'm interested to see because what I didn't do was normally I go look at everybody's recap, but since I wasn't recording my recap until today at work, I popped into y'all's stream. I popped over to Hendo's, but I didn't stay long because I didn't want nobody's what they saw to influence what I thought. And so I recorded this morning, so I'm interested to see what everybody else thought about what they saw yesterday. Make sense?
Yes, sir.
That's right. So first up, y'all caught that, huh? I didn't think y'all was gonna catch that. I tried to be slick.
You catch everything. Pause.
Quarterback. Mr. Lamar played 10 plays maybe?
Somewhere around there.
And he got a sack because Falele was in, and the tight end blocking one of the defensive end. He got sacked and got hurt. So mainly, I'm just gonna stick with my real Huntley, and so we'll start with you, Mike.
I mean, Huntley, he did what a backup's supposed to do, right? Unfortunately, in this town, we expect the backups to be better than the starting quarterback, but a true backup, a solid backup comes in the game when your number one goes down and they finish the job. So that's what he did. I mean, so all things considered, Huntley get a C+ from me. I mean, he had a bad throw on the interception, real bad throw there. But I mean, he was solid, man. I'm not gonna have anything bad to say about the young guy. Unfortunately, he just has that pressure on him to be Lamar Jackson. Now he's the new savior, as they are saying locally, which is crazy. You don't hear that anywhere else. I didn't hear that in Green Bay. I didn't hear that in Buffalo when Josh Allen got hurt. But unfortunately, that's what's happening here. So a solid C+ for me for the young fella.
Chris?
Yeah, I thought he played, fairly well for coming out cold, and with the receiving room that's in Baltimore right now, it's not really a great supporting cast, and no run game either. He had that nasty pick, like Mike said, which was just uncalled for. Like, you cannot throw that. But when they needed him to drive down the field, I give him his props. He did his thing, and he helped lead them down the field to take the lead. So hats off to him, and going forward, like, anybody who wants to say Huntley is better than Lamar, like, we just don't even acknowledge those people. Like they don't even exist. Like, it's nonsense at this point. So it's like anybody who says that, they just trolling. So it's like I'm not even giving them the time of day.
Facts. Hendo?
I'm gonna give Huntley a B-. Like they said, he came off the bench cold. He didn't practice with the ones all week long. He wasn't expected to play. For him to go in there and actually do what he did, I commend him. But that, like Mike said, that interception was horrible. Like, that dude was right in front of him and he just threw it away. He did what he had to do to get the dub. So I think that's most important. But to Chris's point, if you think he's better than Lamar, if you think we're running the same offense as Lamar, you are crazy. But he gave us a prelude to the 2023 Baltimore Ravens, so get used to
it. B.
Yeah, I mean, I give him a C. He played okay. Like you all mentioned, he had a bad interception. He missed a couple of open receivers. I mean, I don't really care about him coming in cold. All backups come in cold, really. You know, if you think about it, like, and he's been there for 3 years. It's been the same offense. He should know he should be fine to go in. That's his job. You know, he completed 27 passes. About 20 of them were under 10 yards. So I'm not gonna go wild with it. But you know, like Chris said, you know, when they absolutely had to have the drive, he gave him the drive. He scored the touchdown. So you know, you get props for that for sure. So he played Lamar, just worse at everything, but they got the win.
Jose?
Yeah, C+ for me. Look, I mean, the offense has nothing on that side of the ball, and I don't think I think most starters in the NFL can't come to this team and win. You know, with that offense,
Unless they're mobile.
Right. Even some of those mobile cats, I don't think they could win. Right. I think Huntley did enough in crunch time. Yeah, that interception. I mean, it was like I said, like he ain't Lamar. And look, anybody's gonna make mistakes when they're under duress constantly, right? But for him to battle back and get us a touchdown on a 98-yard drive,
91.
right? 91, yeah. Maybe, yeah, he made it happen. So yeah, props to him. Yeah, C+ for me.
I give one quarterback a B. I give the other quarterback a F. I give Snoop a B because, again, the reps for backups are limited throughout the week, especially if the starter's healthy. And then the O-line was bad, couldn't run the ball, a pressure situation. So I knew he threw an interception, which I understand, but I give him a B for the way he finished the game. Now the other quarterback, Prochet, F.
How dare you?
I knew you would, Coach.
How dare you?
Shame.
I need a way to talk about
where's my bell at? Shame.
I needed a way to talk about Prochet some kind of way.
Just say he has more negative plays than he has receptions. That's all you gotta say.
There was so much room to run there. I mean,
yeah, he should have just ran. But in his mind, when they called that play, I know when they practiced it probably was wide open, but the spacing was bad. The initial receiver, which was Drake, I think beat his guy, but it was two other guys sitting in the end zone. Like, yeah, come on, so, bring it to me. So, but again, Huntley, I think for the situation Huntley was in, he was good. Not good for what he is. He's a backup QB. Good backup QB?
Did they practice that play during warmups? Because the defense, everybody was there waiting for it. Like I feel like they're watching them. Like, oh, that's what y'all gonna run? All right, cool.
Well, actually, I think they tried to do it one time before with Duvernay, but he kind of stuttered a little bit, and they was like, "Oh, this looks familiar," and I think that's why that happened.
And it looked bad before because they he almost handed it off in front. Then it just was a messed up play overall, completely. It looked like a botch reverse. Let me hit these super chats real quick because I don't want them to say I'm ignoring them. Brent says, I'm going to leave this just to start off because I don't think we're going to stay positive for very long. And no off days, Chris. Just kidding. Got another one from Marco, I think. Let me find. Here we go. Marco says, badly beat a dumpster fire Broncos. Prochet throwing the ball up in quadruple coverage. No way finally getting a sack. Must have been a full moon up in Baltimore. We're gonna get to eventually. Let's move on to the next person. Yeah, I since he got a few stats, I gave him his name for this week.
I thought he only had one set.
But I think he had a TFL too and a QB hit. And what I did was, before I thought they were all the same thing, I went and looked at other people that had sacks and see if they had TFLs and QB hits in their category too, and they didn't.
Yeah, I guess they're separate. They're separate.
They're separate. Okay, that's just, and I went to make sure because I didn't want to give him too much credit for one play. So that means he made at least 3 plays.
No, sir. No, sir. As Ravens fans, we celebrate mediocrity. Let's go.
Well, we speaking of mediocrity, we have the running backs. Great segue, Hendo. You can start this one off.
Oh, I give the running backs an F. And within correlation, I give Greg Roman a Z- because I've been telling y'all for years he's not a run game guru.
Stanford might be listening.
Oh, my bad. Z double minus. He is not a run game guru. Without a spectacular running quarterback, Greg Roman can't scheme up anything. We've learned that the last 6 games of last year when Lamar went out. Ironically, Lamar went out in the 13th game of last year in the second quarter against Cleveland. This is just eerily similar to last year, but the running backs did nothing. Huntley led us with 41 yards rushing.
Mm-hmm.
Gus had 29, I believe. Like, listen, I take nothing away from the Denver defense, but they did not have Bradley Chubb. Some other people were injured. This offense is pathetic. The offensive line, well, I guess we're getting into that, but I just give them an F.
B?
Yeah, no, Hendo said it. It's an F. So you found out now that Lamar's the best running back on the team, and apparently Huntley's the second best running back on the team. Gus Edwards he actually only had 6 carries for 12 yards. That was Drake that had the 29.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, no, like Hendo said, when you don't have the quarterback to lean on, you don't have a run game. So every time he's off the field, it lends credence to the fact that Lamar is the entirety of the Baltimore Raven offense. So yeah, the running backs really, they weren't anything this week. So an F.
All right.
They are who we thought they were.
That's who we got next. Chris?
Yeah, it was definitely not good. And I'm concerned for the run game because this is supposed to be the bread and butter. It's supposed to be what they put all their chips in, is to make this run game go. And they cannot run the ball. Whether it's Drake, whether it's Gus, they haven't been able to get it going. And I know, Hendo said it, but we're going to get to part of the reason why those running backs don't look as good. But, also there's just a lack of juice there too. Like we don't see any burst on the field when these guys get the ball, and it's been tough sledding for the running back. So hopefully, I think J.K. started practicing last week, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
So hopefully J.K., when he comes back, could provide a little bit of juice, because right now it's a little bit lackluster for the running back room.
Jose?
Man, they've said more than I was going to say. Just an F. I mean, there's not much to talk about here, right? I mean, you have about 41 total yards from the running backs. No, 50 because 43 because Lamar had 9 yards. Justice Hill had 2 yards. So, I mean, from the running backs themselves, 43 yards. I mean, do we really need to say much about this? I mean, this is something we all pretty much knew, that Lamar is really the catalyst for this run game to get going, and people feed off of that. And of course, when he goes out, they don't even want to attempt to run, because it wouldn't rush attempts, for being honest about it. They knew immediately, like even with Tyler Huntley, that this run game just wasn't going to work. And that speaks to another group that we're going to talk about later. But yeah, just an F. Awful.
Mike?
Yeah, man, I agree with what y'all saying, but my problem is with this situation is the game plan. I mean, 14 total rushes for the running backs. I mean, you ain't feeding these guys, right?
Yeah.
Like, somebody gotta get somebody going. At least try to get somebody going, right? I think the most carries was Drake with 7. Gus had 6. I mean, they've shown in the games that they had success. It took some time to get them going, right? Get them a couple runs in a row, get the juices flowing. They ain't even get a chance to get that going. So, but I agree with everything y'all saying, man. It just they are looking lackluster there. I don't know what he got going on. I don't know what my man. We'll get to the coaches. I don't know what he got going on, but yeah, that's an F day for that group.
And I'm with you guys. I think it's an F. And I think we have, and this is probably getting ahead of myself, putting this on whoever's subbing, but we'll run outside zone with Gus and then come back and try to run Justice Hill up the middle. Outside zone needs a one cut and go, like a shifty guy. Gus is your downhill guy. And even though Gus has the ability to cut back, but it takes him 3 or 4 steps to slow down, then go. But Justice, and I'm not saying Justice is overall like the guy, but Justice at least hit that foot in the ground and go to change direction. but Justice lay it down, so maybe that's why he wasn't out there. So, but that's overall the group. Yeah. All right, let's march on. O-line. I'll start with you, Mike.
I mean, look, you got to get an F when you wreck the Ferrari. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I let you take the Ferrari to put gas in it, and you come back with it banged up. I can't, I gotta feel you there. I don't know how many sacks did they give up this week?
The only ones that matter to me is 2. Them 2 that Lamar got.
Exactly. Wow. So it was 4 total, but those 2, I mean, 2 very costly, obviously, right? So again, that's another, you gotta feel them. You gotta feel them, man. I said on this show every week, right? You gotta keep the Ferrari clean. We didn't do well at that. And around this time of the year, man, every hit, it counts, right? These dudes, they feeling it now. They didn't play 13, 14 weeks. So those hits, they stacking up. So you got to keep them as clean as you can, and they didn't do a good job at that. And right now, unfortunately, we have a coach who we cannot trust his injury reports. So, right, he's trying to hype us up. I seen Chris, you had reposted Aaron Rappaport's report, and I hope that's what he's hearing and not what he's hearing from John Harbaugh, where it's looking like it's going to be a week at most. So let's hope for that. But if it's long term, man, they might fail for the rest of the season in my book.
Hendo?
I mean, they get an F. Like, I got what I asked for. They gave me consistent on run blocking and pass blocking. F all the way around. Listen, Tyler Huntley was pressured. They couldn't run block. They couldn't do anything well. And honestly, I'm not even gonna put this on the offensive coordinator. I'm putting this on EDC. You knew coming in, Ronnie Stanley was hurt. You brought in Juwan James, a right tackle who was born injured. He got hurt. You tried to put Makari in. He got hurt. You put Falele over there. So even toward the trade deadline, you didn't upgrade his offensive line. Now, I know a lot of y'all out there keep saying we got a top 5, top 10 offensive line, but this is what you get when you play consistently good defenses. This is what you get when you play teams that aren't injured, that have pieces out. When you get a respectable defense on there, it shows the truth of what this offensive line really is. And once again, Lamar masks a lot of deficiencies that this team has. So with him being out and us having lackluster talent and horrible coaching, y'all gonna see going forward what this team's gonna look like. Once again, prelude Ravens 2023.
Now I will say this, that and I didn't realize until I was doing the stats that morning that they were the number 3 ranked defense, and their 2 linebackers fly the fuck around. Both of them had 17 tackles. I'm not saying it's an excuse, but I'm still gonna go ahead and give my F, so we can skip me. But
no, Coach. What's your excuse? Because I want to hear this.
No, I was just saying that their defense was good. That's all. That's all. They got a solid defense. They were ranked number 3 in a bunch
good defense.
They're ranked number 3 in a bunch of categories.
Oh yes, especially without Bradley Chubb.
Yeah, they've done all that without Chubb. Got rid of Miller.
Yep.
They got. I was letting coach over there defensively.
Yes.
Defensively, I had to clear it up. B.
Yeah,
if we had their defense, we would have a lot more wins.
How about that?
And they cheaper too.
And they spend less money.
Cheaper. That's the right word.
What'd you say, B?
No, the O-line gets an F, like I was saying. They didn't protect the quarterbacks. They got the one injured, and Tyler Huntley was running for his life most of the day. The run game didn't get going because you don't have any special running backs, so they get what's blocked, and what was blocked was not a lot. So yeah, I mean, not a whole lot to say there. I do agree with Hendo that like most of what's wrong with this team, you can point at coaching for sure because they don't do a great job, but you can point directly at EDC because this is several years in a row that they don't have adequate backups for the tackle positions. I don't know. They're afraid to roster a backup left tackle. Apparently, I don't know what he thinks is going to happen, but they just refuse to do it. So, yeah, an F for the O-line. I do want to say though, the Denver's defense is good, but they're not a great run defense. So maybe
I think they were 18 versus the run.
Yeah, Carolina went for like 185. Foreman and Chuba by themselves went for like 185, 187 for against them last week. If you were the power run team that John Harbaugh and Greg Roman wants to keep claiming that you are, wants people to believe that you are, you should have had an easy day against Denver.
Hey, Bradney,
what's up?
How many points did Sam Darnold put up?
Sam Darnold put up 23 points against Denver. Because I heard that Carolina would kill for Tyler Huntley because he's way better, but it didn't appear that way.
Yeah, because you're a hater, Brodney.
Yeah, guess so.
Guess
so.
Well, so I want to clear something up. Like that play Lamar got hurt on, that wasn't an old lineman, correct? That was Josh Oliver that let that block go. So I'm not gonna put that on the O line, but the play, I think it was like one or two plays before that, they let Lamar get tenderized before they ate him up. The thing is this, I don't think the O-line is that bad just in general, right? I think they're doing a terrible job coaching these guys up. I see too many mistakes that aren't talent related, right? Like too many things that just aren't talent related. It's just they don't look like they know where to go. They the pre-snap penalties that's been happening for like 3 years here. You could tell they're just poorly coached. I think they do have some talent there, and with better coaching, you could see a better O-line. But yesterday was an F. I mean, they looked awful. They didn't necessarily let Lamar get hurt on that play, but it was bound to happen the way they were blocking, and then they got no push in the run game. So yeah, it is what it is.
No,
who left?
Chris.
Oh, I was just about to say to him. I'll go and maybe he'll pop back in.
And Keelan's right. Yeah, he didn't build no wall.
My thing is, and I agree with all you guys, I'm giving them an F. We talk about EDC's problem, Harb's problem, and I mentioned it on my recap. There go Chris right there. I bring it back in. I mentioned it on my recap, and I mentioned it on the video I did right before we started this stream. When are we gonna get on Joe D's ass?
Yeah,
because some of this stuff looks like it's assignment related. Like he ain't coaching it up right. Some of the stuff's not effort. Some of it's they don't know who to get.
Mm-hmm.
But then there are times when they look right, like on the very last play that Huntley scored on. Zeitler did a hell of a job. He helped Morgan Moses out first. The guy tried to go outside of Moses. He left it and then went back to help Linderbaum. And when he came back to help Linderbaum, Huntley hit right off his butt. So there are plays like that where they look great. Then there are plays where, like on the outside zone in that last drive, Morgan Moses should have, waited on the double team from Zeitler. He took off and left, and which allowed the safety to come down and kind of cut the one running play we had that wasn't Huntley that drive. And it ended up getting like a 1 yard gain or no gain because Morgan Moses didn't block the right person. So when's Joe D gonna get hit, get put in the fire? We always say Harbs. We always say EDC. Put Joe D name in that thing too. Chris?
Facts.
Yeah, they were terrible. No way to sugarcoat it. Falale, I mean, he's a right tackle. Like, third round pick, fourth round pick. I forgot what he was, but fourth round pick. He was right tackle, never played left tackle before, not even in college. So can't expect him to be, a solid piece there to be blocking these dudes. So I give him sort of a pass, but I mean, still, it's like week after week with the offensive line as far as the run game is concerned. That's what I'm mostly focused on, the run game. Like this is what you built. Like this is what you built to be a bully and to kind of lean on is the run game. They're not moving any bodies. How many weeks has it been? And they're not moving any bodies. You could probably say 2 games where the running backs, looked like they had wide lanes to run through, and it was just like 2 games where Drake had like over 100 in one and then like close to 100 in another one. But other than that, there haven't been many holes for the running backs to go through, and the run game's mostly been Lamar.
Yep.
So
I think we had 2 games where he was not the top rusher. Maybe.
Yeah, and if you're a running team and you build your team and you push all your chips in, to be this bully and this run oriented team, you can't have games like this. You know, if you're gonna say, oh, we don't care about the wide receiver position, we care about the run game and playing this type of bully ball, we can't have these kind of games. And it's happened over and over again.
Like Hendo said, we the number 3 ranked rushing team. They were the number 18 ranked rushing defense, and we put up that kind of performance. That lets you know, and what everybody's saying, Lamar is the run game, and whether he's running it or not, the threat of Lamar running it helps them other guys out. Mm-hmm. He's the end all be all to our run game. All right, I think I got everybody because Chris came back. Let's move on. Wide receiver and tight end. What I'll say about these guys is they did enough. They can only, catch the balls that were thrown to them. There's a lot of quick game stuff, which that's a whole nother thing we'll talk about lately. I think I know of one drop from Mark. That was it was kind of a touch ball, tough catch, but he still should have caught it because he marked. But for the most part, they caught the balls that were thrown to him. For the most part. And so, I ain't got no ill will about them. I give them a C. Nobody made this outstanding play. They just caught balls that were thrown to them. Nobody broke a big tackle and broke off a big run or nothing like that, other than likely it's one big play. Jose?
Yeah, C is fair. I mean, you put nothing into that unit whatsoever. You don't scheme anything for them at all. And yeah, they played a pretty clean game based off of what you drew up for them. And they're not asked to do anything outside of that, right? So, I mean, you could grade them higher if you're being honest. I mean, they did what they're asked to do. They didn't do anything special, but I think C is a fair grade.
B?
I'm gonna give them a D-. They I don't know why y'all laugh. All right, so I haven't even gotten to the explanation yet. All right, look, they caught the passes that were thrown because they're standing next to Tyler when he threw it. Right? We're gonna put everybody says, oh, get these guys more involved, right? Get the ball to Duvernay more. Get DeMarcus more involved. Okay, DeMarcus had 7 catches. Duvernay had 6. Even Prochet got in there. He had a couple. Deshaun had a couple. But the numbers that really stand out: 5.9, 5.7, 5, 4.5. Those are the averages for the wide receiver, not for Pat Ricard.
If I'm not mistaken, Mark was higher than them, wasn't it?
Mark was 13.3, 4 catches for 53 yards. But those aren't your fullbacks average. Those are the wideouts. Like you snap the ball, they took 3 steps and stopped and just waited for Tyler to throw on the ball, and then they got tackled. I mean, yeah, they did what they were asked to do, which was just catch these short passes and go down. I'm going to ask them to actually get some yards after they get the ball, though. So D- for me.
But the coaches didn't ask them that, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, but you know what? They've played football a long time. Okay, they know. They know. And presumably they all like to run when they get the ball. They all like to score, right?
Not a lot of them.
Hey, B, can we crawl before we walk? Let's just be happy to actually catching the ball.
Yeah.
No.
The bar is so low. The bar is so low for us.
Endo, will you tell us, man, we praise mediocrity? So that's good.
All season was let the young guys cook. That's all I heard.
They cook
off season.
They cook hot dogs, but they cook.
I was saying they cook some oodles and noodles.
Oodles and noodles.
Catches for 9 yards and an interception. That's your young guys.
We like our guys.
Endo.
I mean, what is there really to say? Listen, like B said, all we heard all offseason, let these young guys come in and cook. So we gave them the hot plate. They took the Vienna sausage, heated them up, and put them on some crackers. I mean, 27 completions for 187 yards. Now, I know all of it wasn't to the wide receivers, but 27 completions for 187 yards. Jeez. Yeah, they caught the balls. I mean, I know I didn't hear much of this, but Tyler Huntley overthrew a lot of plays, but we didn't hear nothing about it. But, I'll give him D.
You're not supposed to, Hendo. He's the backup.
Nah. Because when Lamar
quarterback overthrew passes.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, D. Let's move it. Let's keep it moving.
Mike.
Yeah, I mean, D, C minus in between there. I do want to point out Likely showed some toughness, right? When he got hurt on that play, he sat out a play or two and came right back in, and he made a big play on that drive to get some of that the yak yards that we were looking for. They could only cook syrup sandwich. Hey man, syrup sandwiches held it down.
Listen,
You know,
listen,
had,
y'all.
you know,
A lot of y'all don't know what potted meat is. Y'all ain't never had.
I know what it is.
Yeah, I mean we know because we old enough, but y'all ain't never had that meat from a can. Pause.
no, they had, you know, they had wish meat sandwiches. They was cooking up wish meat sandwiches, but yeah, man. So I did want to shout out Likely on that. You know, he did show some toughness there, and that was a big play. But and I agree with you, Coach. I'm glad you pointed it out because I think I said the same thing on LBHT show. That Mark dropped that ball that they called a PI on. And he should have caught that. You know,
on the last drive.
Yep. Luckily, we got the call, but that ball hit him in the hands. So, yeah, I mean, in between there, C minus, D, whatever, however you want to go. At this point, like you said, we dealing with what we got, right? So, we gotta make the best of that, I guess. I would like to see D Jack on the field a little bit more. How many? What was he on? Was it 10 snaps?
Seven snaps, I believe. And Deshaun would like to see it too, but Deshaun's hamstrings.
Every time he makes a catch, he's jogging to the sideline.
They bumped him up a little bit this game. He played 25 this game.
And
every
he get a catch and go straight to the massage gun.
Yeah. Every muscle in his body is doing the Ricky Waters for who for what.
Hey, Coach, can I amend my grade?
Go ahead.
I'm giving him an F. Josh Oliver got Lamar hurt. Josh Oliver got Lamar hurt. I just thought about that, including tight ends. The wide receivers are solid, but you get Lamar hurt, you get an F. Everybody fails.
And he ain't had no catches.
Right.
It is true. On you, Chris.
I mean, what is there to say? You know, like these are the wide receivers we have. These are the wide receivers they like, and you know, it's not really moving the needle at all throughout the whole season. You know, ever since Bateman went down, it's like this thing the whole thing has just gone down like the Titanic. So. I don't expect it to get any better. You know, I do like what I've seen from DeMarcus Robinson. Not saying that he's like, you know, number one wide receiver type of dude, but I do like what I've seen from him so far. Like as far as like a depth piece, but right now he's
been fairly consistent these past 2 weeks. I give you
yes.
that.
He's celebrated.
But the only bad thing is he's our number one. That's the only bad thing. So like he's good if he's a number 3, number 4, but right now he's our number 1. So
which is
a pretty significant bad thing. That he's number 1 now, right? I'll be very happy for Baltimore when they can cut DeMarcus Robinson.
Like 2 other teams did.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
We're years from that.
All right, so they did what they did, man. I ain't got much to say about that. I got to put this up. So we're doing something a little different here because I want to praise these 2 guys.
Mm-hmm.
To me, they played just as big of a role in the game as the offense did, and the offense didn't have a very big role at all in that last drive. These 2 guys, 41 set the tone on the first kickoff. 25 made 2 or 3 plays on punt coverage, and you know, even though Denver's offense is trash, their coverage on special teams, to me, I didn't want to, you know, go without praising them because I like their play jumped out to me. Normally, no special teams play jump out to me when I'm watching the game live, other than Tucker.
Mm-hmm.
But I was wondering, like those 2 guys stood out to me. I just want to give them their props for the game this week. And I even think 25 got a game ball, if I'm not mistaken, from Harbaugh. What do you guys think about special teams this week?
I thought the punter did all right too. Yeah, solid.
Let me zoom in on Hendo when you say that.
What?
Say it again, Jose.
The punter did all right.
Okay.
Yes, that was worth that 4th round pick. And listen, Shout out to 25-41. Celebrate mediocrity once again.
Wow, with the mediocrity. I mean, you're welcome. That's former Panther Daryl Worley right there. All right.
Hey.
Oh man, and Seymour. Hey, what would we do without them?
You would have lost to Denver, is what you would have done without them.
Facts.
Possibly.
So
Possibly.
yeah, think about that for a while.
You might be right.
Anybody else want to chime in on these two?
Be dangerous by 1 point.
Now I noticed that too, though, Coach. They was out there balling. And you gotta listen. You gotta give these dudes props. They've been living out of a suitcase for the last 13 weeks. They get cut every week. They get brought back every other week. So I mean, shout out to those dudes. I think Worley has had a new number every time he gets signed. So
when he made the tackle, I was like, when they brought Levine back.
That's what I was thinking. So I mean, but yeah, they did jump out to me. So you know, and I'm glad you shouting them out, because you know these are the guys that go unnoticed. But yeah, man, they did set the tone. They was out there striking, and I like to see that.
Let's roll to the other side of the ball. D-line, and again, D-line consists of the interior D tackles. It's about 5 or 6 guys. We'll start with you, Chris.
Yeah, I thought they did their thing. You know, bottling up the run game for whatever, you know, Latavius has left in the tank. But, you know, it was an ugly game for them. Well, not for them, for the Ravens offense. So that defense, you know, they were put out there quite a bit. And, you know, they held strong for the most part, you know, just not giving up any touchdowns, which isn't a, you know, really tall task when you're going up against the Broncos. But you can only play who you're going up against. And, I thought they did well. I thought they harassed Russ quite a bit. You know, they didn't really give up the big plays like get gashed in the run game or anything like that. And they had Russ uncomfortable. So you know, hats off to them, because I thought they were pretty solid yesterday.
Jose?
Yeah, B+, right? I'm tempted to even give them an A. I mean, they held them to, I think, under 100 yards rushing total.
88.
Yeah,
88.
88. And given the fact that, you know, they were on the field quite a bit, right? They didn't fold at any point. So I mean, just as a unit, yeah, I'll give them a B+. I'll give them a B+. There was no real nothing really to point out that they did wrong out there yesterday.
Mike?
Yeah, I agree, man. You know, Broderick, I think he had 2 tackles. Calais was out there. You know, listen, I'm not gonna lie. The way they started the game, I'm looking and I'm like, I think Latavius gashed us for about 7 yards, and I'm like, hold up, we not gonna have this happen today, not Latavius. So, but they held their own in the middle. No complaints from me there.
Kendo?
He's like, I gotta change this D to a C, I guess.
You read my mind. So listen. For me,
you need a minute when we come back.
No. For me personally, I'm grading this whole defense on the curve. I know everybody's throwing out superlatives, the positive, and all this, but I want you to realize one thing: if I can include Nathaniel Hackett and Russell Wilson in this, great. So I'm grading at a curve. This is a defense. This is an offense that scored 3 touchdowns since Halloween. 3 touchdowns since Halloween. So I know we love our team and we want to say this defense is so great. Look at what we went against. But defensive line on a curve, I'm gonna give him a B. I gotta take point away because Justin Madubuike took out my man Patrick Queen. So I gotta take a point away for that.
And gave him an Oscar. Did
you see that? So yeah, I gotta grade him with a curve because this offense has been pathetic. So it's not like we really stopped them. The play calling actually for Denver stopped themselves because they were driving down the field. Then for some reason, Daniel Hack was like, I'm gonna call the same plays 3 times in a row. So nice. Yeah, but I give them a B. Like they did what they were supposed to do.
B.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give them a C. I mean, they did their job. It was fine for most of the game. But like Hendo said, you're playing the Denver Broncos. So I'm not going to be jumping out of my seat. Like when you're talking about a unit that does really well against bad teams and really poorly against good teams, that's a C.
Gotcha. Jose, did I get you? I skipped you or not?
Yeah, I gave him a B plus.
For me, I'm 88 yards rushing, and I'm with Chris. They can only play who's in front of them, and they did what they had to do this week. So I'm kidding with a B minus. They held the lowly Broncos to 88 rushing yards, which it's good. Well, the more thing is they didn't fold like we normally do. That's why something normally goes wrong and we give up. Say it again.
Didn't they though?
Well, they didn't. Somebody did.
Somebody. They didn't score a touchdown, which is great. They didn't score a touchdown. So, it is what it is.
And to their credit, I mean, Latavius the week before had a solid week. I think he almost had 100 yards rushing against. Sorry, B. No offense. No,
Latavius still got a little something left.
So I mean, he had a solid game the week before, so they kind of bottled that up. So they did what they had to do.
But it's Denver, and they missing their best offensive lineman.
I mean, listen. Like
and they didn't have Cortland.
I don't remember seeing Cushenberry.
You want me to tell a story when I took my AAU team to a rec league? I took my AAU team into a rec league and won the championship. Hey, I celebrated that championship.
Oh no doubt.
We played who they put in front of us.
Yeah, you right about
that.
that.
A bunch of blowouts right there, boy. It's not a bunch of blowouts happening. All right, let's move on. Who we got next? Next, we have outside linebackers. That would be Houston, JPP, those guys. We'll start with Chris.
I thought they played well. Again, it is the Broncos, but they play well, and I know that guy who was, you guys don't like the name, Owe. He had a fairly good game. I mean, he filled up the stat sheet when you look at it. Like comparatively speaking, comparatively
to himself,
right? Yes. Comparatively speaking,
you're right,
the stat sheet.
You're right, Chris.
He had a tackle, he had a sack, he had TFL, he had QB hit.
He did
his thing. So baby steps, just like with what I was telling B with the wide receivers. We're happy that they're catching the ball.
Right
now we got to progress to the yards after the catch. So hopefully he could build off of this. But seriously, I thought they played a good game. JPP, he's been really solid. For a guy, without 10 fingers and just sitting at home before the season started. I think
he had a finger for every time y'all brought that up. Right. He'd be doing all right.
Yeah, who usually does that? Is that Big Reg that usually does that?
Yeah, that's normally Big Reg. That's normally Big Reg. That's normally, and he ain't here.
Yes.
So I give him props, man, because he's given the Ravens really, really solid snaps this season. So major props to him.
Wait. Can you repeat that last sentence?
Major props to him.
No. You said he's been giving the Ravens some really solid snaps this year. Did you say that?
Yeah.
Oh wait.
No, JPP.
Oh, okay. My bad.
JPP.
That's why I had to.
Coach look real confused.
It looked like he was about to slap me or something.
He was like, "Repeat yourself."
I don't know this cat he's talking about, but there was one drive where JPP just took over.
Yes.
Yeah.
One drive he just took over. Jose, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to add much more to what Chris said. I'll give him a B. I did see a couple of missed opportunities from Bowser. I think Calais Campbell should have got him on one too. Wow.
Terrible.
I was happy with the way JPP played. Houston again, you're playing a team that's you could argue is worse than us on offense, but look, they did what they had to do. I'll give them a B.
B.
This is going to be a thing with me, for the remainder of the season. The defense is getting graded as a whole, so they're getting a C as well. Like Chris said, I thought JPP played really well and has all year. I thought that he didn't really have anything left, but I mean, he's really showing up for Baltimore. You do have to give away the props. I don't know why you got all confused. I mean, he's got 31 tackles. You act like he don't have 2 sacks on the season. Fumble recovery, 4th fumble. He's solid snaps. But he had an all right day. Tyus Bowser and Justin Houston, they go out there and they do their thing every week. So I mean, they played pretty well, but like I said, it's going to be a C because of what happened at the end.
You see that?
Y'all gotta stop.
And Miss Antoinette, that is not me. I am clicking the button, but that is the people. That's the people. That is not me.
I'm gonna give him a C+. JPP out there doing his thing, especially for his age. You got Justin Houston. I particularly am impressed with Bowser coming off that injury. He's flying around. I know he missed out on a sack, but he was there. Now you got to give props to Draymond Green. Triple single. Adafe Owe. You got to give him his props. Triple single did his thing. He came away with the stat sheet. Look.
He had a quadruple single, bro.
Oh, I'm sorry. Quadruple single.
For those that don't know, he had 1 tackle, 1 TFL, 1 sack, 1 QB hit.
All in one play.
And I thought he had a pass defense.
Yeah, no, he did. He had a pass.
Wait,
Wait, no,
never mind.
No, he didn't.
I didn't see it on the sheet yet.
My bad.
So it was a play. I don't know if y'all remember. He made a play and then he went like this. And I thought that was from a batted pass.
Unless it was a penalty on that play. If it was a penalty, it didn't count.
Mike, he was also in a game shaking a helmet when he got a penalty.
I think what you were noticing was what we see a lot with the Lakers with Pat Beverly. When someone else does something, he likes to celebrate and start talking trash about it, like he was a part of it.
Maybe it was his TFL. I don't know. I thought he had a pass defense.
Might have been TFL because he ain't used to getting them.
I just went. You want me to say it again?
No, I didn't know I left off. I think it's on you, Mike.
Nah, man, look, JPP is balling. Bowser seems to be coming back off an injury smoothly. I'm a little concerned about Justin Houston. He's looking a step slower out there the last couple weeks. We haven't seen any. I think he had a QB hit. I think though, but
he's 56 years old, man.
He had a good 3-week stretch where it was like, all right, we going for the sack crown. But overall, man, they play well. That group played well. Now I don't know who we gonna put, Denver's tight end on. I don't know who we putting that. Whoever was checking him.
I'm putting that on the safety.
Okay, we can put that on the safeties because he got busy a little bit. But overall, man, that front 7 overall played well in my opinion.
For me, I think they played well too. They got a good rotation going. We're getting pressure from since Owe finally came to the party. You're getting pressure from 4 different guys. That would be JPP, Owe, Houston, and Bowser. Even when they bump Calais out there some, which I don't like it anymore, I'd rather him just be an interior guy. He's kind of keeping his legs under him because there's a good rotation, which, Mike, you talk about all the time. It's a rotation, and if you got older guys, you got to have a rotation. You got to. Yeah. Let's move on over to inside linebackers. That would be Queen, Roquan, and Malik for a little bit. I'll start with you, Hendo.
They get a C. Roquan was flying around the field. Patrick Queen had his one play where he could show off for the camera. They was there. Yeah, hating what? I was concerned my man got hurt at the end.
He was not concerned. I was in the Discord with you. You was not concerned at all.
Y'all heard me earlier when I said I took a point away from the defensive line because of that.
But they got a higher grade.
But
I think you did that wrong.
But they got deducted.
No, I think you did that wrong.
They were there. I said with Mike, I don't know if it was on the safeties or whatever, but they controlled the middle for the most part. I give him a C+.
Roquan had 11 tackles and Queen had 9 by the time he was in there. So
yeah,
but you look on the other side, both of their guys had 17 apiece. So I don't know if that's good or bad, but Both
Well,
of them.
that's because y'all completed 30 passes in the 5-yard range. So
True. I don't know if you noticed it or not, but the picture I had up of Demarcus Robinson, did you realize who that was about to tackle him?
no, I didn't know. Who was it?
It was 47.
Yep.
That shows to your point that all them passes were 3 to 4 yards down the field.
Can I apologize for the way?
Mike?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the front seven as a whole played well. I mean, Roquan seemed to be, back to looking like Roquan. I can't help but to think when he playing out there and he watching the games unfold the way they have been the last couple of weeks, is he like, I wanted to get out of Chicago. I didn't want to. I wanted to get away from bad offenses, But he played well. I think PQ was playing well up until the injury. I hope that. Again, it's just hard to believe anything the coaches say on the injury front, but I hope that he is back sooner than not. But yeah, man, I give him a solid B plus. I think they played well on the inside of there.
Jose?
Yeah, I give him a B. Yeah, like they're flying to the ball. I mean, look, it's Roquan sets a high standard for himself, right? You expect him to play the way he played. That's pretty standard. Patrick Queen has continued to elevate his game. I think so, right? And that I think that's a direct effect from having Roquan Smith there. I thought both of them played really well. They ain't doing anything special out there, right? I mean, you got a team that's pretty inept on offense, but given the fact that it was an ugly game and we weren't doing anything on offense, they didn't drop their level of play throughout, and they finished. So I'll give them a B for that.
Chris?
Yeah, I thought they played well. Like Jose said, wasn't anything spectacular, but they got the job done. Stuck to their assignments for the most part. I thought in the past game there was sometimes where they probably could have got a little bit more depth just to help out on the tight end Dolcich. But other than that, I thought they played well, and what turned out to be an ugly, just smash mouth game.
Good. Like I said earlier, Queen had 9 tackles, Roquan had 11. They were flying around. I haven't looked at it like I looked at that last drive, so I don't know if they played bad and just ended up with tackles or missed tackles or what, but just the naked eye, they look like they played well to me. So I'm gonna give them a B too. Next set of guys. I ain't missing anybody, right? So when we go to laugh and I forget where I'm at. the next set of guys, which will be this set, the DBs. If you did not see my short or the end of my my recap this morning, I apologize to Marlo. Because I know during one of the games, maybe 4, 5, maybe 6 weeks ago, I put a poll in the chat and asked, was he overrated? Mm-hmm. And as soon as I put the poll up there, he got a pick. And he's been playing lights out ever since. So I apologize. I know he'll never see it, but I apologize to Marlo for calling him overrated. And I think for the most part, Baltimore on the back end did their job. Denver just never really found Marcus Peters. Because either of those two receivers, had they been isolated on Marcus Peters, I feel like it would have been a different game. Not saying Russ would have hit him or not, and I like Kyle's toughness because Kyle was hurt, but he kept coming in and out, and he's playing a lot better than he did
Paul Pierce
early in the season. So I'm gonna give the DBs a B plus, A minus. I want to say a high A, but I put that tight end on the safeties, Chuck Clark and Kyle. So I'm gonna get
Chuck and Gino.
Chuck and Gino. Those two. That's why I brought it down from what it was. They gave up 188 passing yards. So that's what we at. Mike, start us off.
Man, I was saying Marlo playing at all pro level, in my opinion, man. He balling. And I mean, it's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. That dude, he making plays. I think he's up to 3 sacks this week. He got 3 interceptions on the year. Those are the plays we were looking for him last year that we didn't get to see. So he's taking away half of the field, in my opinion.
Going in and out.
I don't know if
You breaking up.
Breaking up.
y'all hear me.
We can hear you.
I'm good.
Yeah,
Think
you
so.
good.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, what I was saying is, Marlo is taking away half of the field right now, and that should be a benefit to the defense. That should help our defensive coaches, game plan a little better. But man, Marlo doing his thing. He's holding it down for that group. Chuck, more so Geno Stone to me has been looking a step slower. So I'm a little concerned about that. Hopefully we get Marcus Williams back and that shores up that back end. But overall, I agree with Coach B. For the group, MP looked solid. He didn't get spanked.
You breaking up again, Mike?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Hendo.
Oh.
Mike cutting in and out.
Oh, okay. So to your poll, Coach, you weren't wrong. Up until this year, Marlo hasn't played up to level, and that's why Mike keep breaking up every time you talk about him. Football gods are like, but yes, listen, Marlo's been balling out. I can't take anything away from him this season. For me, I'm gonna give him a B- because, like I said, that what is it, Greg Dulcich? He's a rookie. Now, by the way, people aren't mentioning he's a rookie, and he's sitting up there working our secondary. He had 88 yards, but that's pretty much all that they had on offense. Courtland Sutton got hurt. Jerry Jeudy, I don't know where the hell he was. So I mean, I think they could have done a little bit better on the tight end, but he made some outstanding catches. I can't take that away from him. But for me, yeah, they didn't. For as limited as Denver's offense is, I don't think that they did their job. Let's just put it like that.
Well, do you think that the game plan was centered around the receivers because Judy and Sutton are okay? You think the game plan, that's why the tight end was kind of open, so to speak?
Why would it be? They have Russell Wilson as quarterback this season. Well, the game plan should have just been like keep going what they've been doing. Let them be putrid.
Ooh,
Look, man,
he went to the mental Rolodex thing.
Let's listen. We gonna get out there and ball. Now let's ride. Anytime a man start off like that, you can't. You listen. He not looking good right now. But relax on my man Russ, okay? Russ is one of the corny cool guys that he's all. Jose, you put it perfectly. You say he's almost so corny that you want to hang with him though. You know what I'm saying?
When you get when you get to our age, he gonna be the cool guy. He's gonna be the guy that you go to his house for game night. Okay.
Listen.
All the snacks, all the drinks.
No,
Yes.
no. This is how bad it is. So I traded Rodney and I got Russell Wilson. He then showed me Russell Wilson's Subway commercial. And immediately I was like, I made a mistake. There's no way
to trade block sense.
There's no way this dude should be on my team after watching that commercial. No.
Yeah. No, I mean, look, the secondary, I give them a C, like the rest of the defense. I don't think they played nearly as well as y'all are saying. I mean, you mentioned the tight end kind of getting loose on him. Jerry Jeudy got a 40-yard catch on him as well. When they got the ball back with 28 seconds left, they damn near got into field goal range and won that game. If Russell Wilson wasn't so gun shy this year, Baltimore would have lost. I mean, their first pass on that drive, they went for 16 yards. If he's more willing to push the ball downfield, they get into makeable field goal range for McManus. So I don't think that they did particularly well. I mean, he threw for 189 yards or whatever it was, but he threw only 22 attempts. That he's over 8.5 yards an attempt. They just, because their coach is Nathaniel Hackett, they decided this seems to be working. Let's give Latavius 17 carries. I think this is another case of if they had a competent coaching staff and something other than an inept offense on the other side of the field, we'd be talking about another Ravens defensive collapse.
Thanks.
Jose?
I was gonna say the exact same thing. I give him a C, and the only reason it's not an F is because if they didn't get that extra 5 yards that they needed to kick that field goal, right? They moved the ball down the field way too easily when they needed to, and I was thinking, here we go, right? It's always this unit that's giving it up at the end of the game, right? Like, yeah, you're playing well for 3 3/4 of the game, But when we need you to close it out, which is what we're paying you for, right? This is what we're investing in you for. This is what's happening, and we just got lucky that yes, we played a team that had like what was the stat, Hendo? 3 touchdowns since week what?
Since Halloween.
Since Halloween.
We going into Christmas.
Listen. And okay, I see AJE saying, "Come on, Jose. You think we're being harsh on this team? Go look at a Broncos roundtable and listen and tell me what your ears are hearing over there. They are on fire."
I don't know how it came up. I guess searching Broncos, but one of their YouTubers videos popped up, and I hit the first. I was like the first 2 minutes. I was killing myself laughing. I was so happy not to be a Broncos
You think
fan
we're
in the
harsh?
first 2 minutes.
Right.
Listen to that fan base. Okay, they are beside themselves. We are very generous compared to what they're getting over there right now.
And they spent less money,
Yep.
except for the quarterback.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. See,
Chris.
Yeah, I thought they played, well, considering, like with everything, considering who they're going up against. Cortland Sutton went down in the game too, so it was essentially just Jerry Jeudy and Greg Dulcich. Like that's really all they had to worry about. But hey, you could only, like I said, you could only play who's in front of you, and they did fairly well. But like what B said, and Jose, at the end there, you start to get nervous because now Ravens fans, we got PTSD when it comes to the fourth quarter and those late heroics from the opposing team. So, it kind of needs to be a door shut kind of thing. Like, all right, you play well throughout the game, but then in the fourth quarter, let's not get it to that point where McManus has a chance to win the game for them. It should be door shut, especially all of those damn pieces you have on the defensive side. I get Marcus Williams is hurt. All right. This defense on paper is still very, very talented. Door needs to be shut when it's that time to step up and be the closers.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I agree 100%. They gotta finish some drives.
I see the comments here too. Like a lot of people are defending the secondary, saying, "Hey, they've been playing well all year," but they're not closing out. That's the problem. Like the stats are, that's cute. But when we need you to hold it down, because they're supposed to be the playmakers on this team. They're supposed to be the ones carrying this team, not Lamar. They ain't investing in Lamar, right? Or anything around him. They're the ones that need to close it out. And they're the ones that are costing us these games. And they almost did it yesterday.
28 seconds.
My thing is with them, I don't want to just put that, what you're speaking on, Jose, just on the secondary. Because we ain't really getting no pass rushing in that time either.
True.
That's to me, that's the whole defense, not just the secondary. But I'm not saying you're wrong.
We didn't invest in the pass rush though.
True.
I was going to say the same thing though, Coach, because I believe Russ had a 21-yard rush.
He did. They was playing 2-man and the guys overrushed and Russ got up out of there.
Right.
2-man with no spy.
Oh, I'm sorry. It was 23 seconds, not 28.
I mean I can't put that on the secondary. That was a big play that we couldn't afford to give up at that time. So I agree. I agree. The defense as a whole is blowing these games at the end, but I mean, look, we keep saying this almost happened. It did. So we gotta kind of look at it that way too. They stopped them 2 yards short of what they needed. Hey, Mike, and it was very close.
Hey,
That's why I gave him a C.
Hey Mike,
Hey
Mike, did you think that kick was good?
I did.
Because I stood there like this.
Because when it came off his foot, it was straight.
I was like, no, not this way. No.
My son looking at me like, what's wrong with you, Dad? And I'm like, I'm pushing him off while I'm watching the TV. And I was like,
you ain't stiff on him, did you?
Yeah, he might have caught a stiff arm at that moment.
All right. So I got everybody with DBs, right?
Yes.
I said I wasn't going to talk about these guys, but I was going to talk about them when we're going to shut it down. The coaches. And the only reason I put them in there, and I'll let you guys talk about who you want to talk about, is Joe D name has to start coming up with this accountability stuff. Mm-hmm. Has to. Because the O-line play is what's the word you used? Putrid.
Putrid.
That O-line play is putrid. So Joe D's name has to start coming up
Coach.
in these conversations and these situations and these debates about how bad our offense is. His name got to be associated with it.
Excuse me, Coach. I don't listen. I am not one to defend any of our coaching staff, but don't you have to give him some talent?
You do.
I think they
You
have
do.
more talent than we're giving them credit for.
I mean, they have some.
I'm saying they're making the same mistakes over and over.
But
That's coaching to me.
That's true.
That's coaching. It's different if you put me in front of Aaron Donald. I could do everything right and I'm still gonna lose. I could be getting coached up right and still gonna lose. Even if I don't, and I ain't gonna make the same mistake twice. If I'm coached up, Aaron Donald just gonna have enough strength or enough speed or enough. If I got 12 moves, Aaron Donald gonna have 15.
Yeah.
I'm still getting coached up. I don't think our guys getting coached up.
We know that.
I agree.
Yeah, that's for me when I say John Harbaugh got to go, it's not John Harbaugh. It's John Harbaugh and every single person underneath him.
Yeah.
They need a whole they need a clean sweep out of that organization from reality from EDC down. It's a complacent organization. They don't do their due diligence. They don't do the things that they need to do. They're a lazy organization. They put a lot of their effort into propaganda, PR, and making fans believe that they're on a certain track when they really aren't. And they have not put enough effort into the coaching, the scouting, and things like that will actually improve the performance on the field. So, yeah, it's not sparing their O-line coach or anything, but it's all of them have to go.
That is true.
Hey, LA, this must be your first time in here.
Who?
LA. Yeah, saying we got on Lamar glasses. It's got to be his first time in here. Got to be.
Kadri, that's you?
And Daniel said it. I was going to say that too. Daniel just said it. Include strength conditioning.
Oh, indeed.
Should have been gone a couple years ago.
When he gave the team COVID, he should have been
criminal.
Right.
Super spreader.
with that being said,
I'd be Ingram.
we're not going to even get close to, we're not going to even get close to 2 hours. So we about to shut this thing down. But before we do, since we're going to end early tonight, if you missed this before the roundtable, this is what I did before the roundtable. Snoop's game-winning drive. I talked about all the plays, good and bad, and you'll see Snoop's best play as a pro, that throw he threw to Drake, to get us to like the 2-yard line. He also had a throw to Prochet off his back foot that was damn good too. But no. That being said, let's kind of do our outro.
Well, one more grade we gotta give out. EDC, he gets an F.
Oh, that goes on.
I mean,
my battery.
I mean, he made more moves this week. We needed wide receiver help. He heard our cries. He said, "Listen, Shamar Bridges done. Benjamin Victor done. Okay, Merry Christmas."
So let me tell you what EDC did. Let me tell you what EDC did. He looked up a picture of Randy Moss, and then he put a picture of Shamar Bridges beside it and said, "This close enough. Come on back." Appreciate the 20 YNG, bro. Appreciate it. Go ahead, B.
I was saying I see my good friend Ashanti in the chat saying fire EDC for who? What do you mean fire EDC? What has he done? That you're clinging to EDC's coattails to say, "Oh, please don't go." What has he done for you?
I need to know. Please answer this question.
Yeah,
someone competent. That's who.
We'll give you, man.
Ooh, Antoinette. I see you. I see you, Queen.
Damn.
You can't see me, but I'm dancing. Appreciate it. I appreciate it. She always come through for me, man. I appreciate it. I can't say I appreciate it enough. And today was extremely funny. Extremely funny. So we're gonna let that ride.
Like that offense.
Did Ashanti answer you?
No, we still waiting on that one. But it's
while we do our outros, we'll wait on his response if he gives us one. If he gives us one.
Listen. Some of y'all, man. Look, if you're related to somebody, look, this is not personal. This is not personal. All right. When Prochet's uncle went at us on Twitter, I was like, listen, if you're related to Prochet, just say so. This isn't no disrespect. He's like, actually, I am his uncle, right? Like, okay, that's what I thought, right? This is like, I don't mean no disrespect. So, if you're related, with some of these people, whatever, it's not disrespect, okay? We just call it like we see it. It's a game.
His uncle is going hard on Twitter if he found us.
And the thing, well, I'm gonna speak,
it was a
I'm gonna
crochet
speak for
video that we
myself.
put out, though. That's what he responded to.
I'm gonna speak for myself. As bad as I may talk or say to something about these guys, if I see them and I don't think it's like with their family, I'm gonna ask for a picture. Their hate, it's not personal.
It's not. Yeah,
it's for us. It's fun. For me, it's fun. And we can be critical, and we just want our team to win. We all want the same thing on the end. I think we're fair, and we don't have, like old boy said earlier, or girl, I don't know what it was. We don't have purple shades on. We talk about what we see, and we don't overlook stuff that we know is wrong.
So I see Ashanti. So nothing. Thank you.
Okay.
I do want to defend one of the coaches, if that's okay with you guys.
No, it's not.
It's not.
But
we know you. But we know you are Mr. Positive.
You guys ready for this?
Yeah.
Listen, everybody in the chat, everybody that's gonna watch this later. Those of you that were hard on Greg Roman, you have to chill, okay? In the headset in the booth, he was actually calling recruits for Stanford. He wasn't, so you can't blame him for the play calling because he was a little occupied. That headset was actually a phone. The old school, how the old folks wear the headset phone or whatever like that. That's what was going on.
That paper in his hand was just a list of people he had called. It's like, okay,
he was just calling them down one by one.
That was the people in the portal.
Getting a head start.
What's your grades looking like? Okay. Can you run the ball? Can you run the same 5 routes? All right. We want you at Stanford. So that's what was going on with Roman. So, chill out. He got a lot going on. All right. He's doing 2 jobs at once. So he had to call his recruit. So that's all I want to defend Greg Roman on.
Yeah. OG Debo. I did say that. I said it. And at the time I said it, I thought it was fair, but he's proven me wrong since then. So I have no quarrels with Eden Crow at all, none. And for those of you that follow me on Twitter, y'all probably see the back and forth this morning. I ain't gonna back down from nobody. I put my pants on just like everybody else. And if you got purple shades on and you don't like what I say, don't ask stupid questions like, "What's the difference between Huntley and Lamar?"
Right,
because you're gonna get stupid answers back.
You're in a public venue asking dumb questions. What do you expect?
Right, and I saw him coming back at me, but it wasn't until I went back and looked at the whole thread and saw everybody going at him too. But I guess he just only felt the need to reply to me.
So what was that? Was that the dude that be,
that be hugging Greg Roman every week?
Yeah,
Greg Roman's best friend.
All right. Okay.
So, but it's cool. And and I really wanted to see the angle until he was like, "Boy, it's TFU." Then I was like, "You just showed me your maturity right there. So I don't want to worry about it no more. This conversation over."
Right.
But again, it is what it is. Mike, what you got going on?
Man, look, if you got some time, go over to open mic with your boy OTR Mike. I just dropped the episode this morning about Coach Prime. I gave a different angle than what everybody else is talking about, so it's not the typical. Now everybody seems to be talking about Coach Prime today, so and it was episode that really just happened at the last minute, and then it wasn't even supposed to come out this week, but then I called Jose and was like, man, let's just drop that tomorrow. So go listen to it, man. I give a different angle on the impact I think Prime had down in Mississippi and down in Jackson. So check that out. I have about 9 other episodes up right now. So tap into those, man, if you got some time. And all of those that are already subscribed, man, I appreciate it. If you look on Brodney's head and you look on Jose's shirt, I am also 1/3 of Ring King Podcast. That's the best boxing podcast in the game. They don't want me to be that guy. I'm gonna be that guy. We got the best show, so go over there and check out, get your boxing fix. We got it for the casual fans as well. We will enlighten you on things that you don't understand about boxing. So that's the place you want to. That's the place you want to be, and that's the place you want to go for your boxing fix.
And well, never mind. I was about to say one more thing. You know, Mike's one subscriber away from 200, but he just hit it. So
Let's
thank
go.
you.
Well, thank you.
That is. Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you, guys.
Chris, is on you.
You can find me at the Deep Cover Pod. We just dropped the episode last week about the Ravens being at an organizational crossroad. So that was a fun conversation we had. You could also check us out. Well, check me out at the Deep Cover Podcast on YouTube. I just dropped a prospect show about the interior offensive line. You could check that out if you're into the draft, and I'll be dropping a wide receiver one fairly soon.
Cool. I want to say this before I forget. Should appreciate the donation, and also Brandon, appreciate not the super chat, but the cash app. Appreciate it. Hendo.
Yes, sir. You can find me at Ravens Online on Gatekeepers every Sunday night at 7 p.m. doing a live show. I also release a pregame video every Wednesday evening. You can also find me Fridays at noon with my man, Mr. Galloway, on Electric Relaxation with Mr. Galloway. That's about pretty much it. Now, you can also find me now, audio version on your favorite audio streaming apps. And yeah, that's it in a nutshell. Shut up, Rodney.
Thank you, Jay. Appreciate it.
Appreciate that, Jay.
Thank you.
B and Jose.
All right, we are the Lunch Break Hot Take. We do a live stream every Wednesday night at 7:15 p.m. Eastern Time. Follow that up with the Overtime Show, which you can find at patreon.com/LBHT Show. Also, just like everybody else on here, you can find our podcast wherever you listen to audio podcasts. And as Mikey mentioned earlier, Ring Kings podcast, we put out a new video every Monday. I missed last Monday, so we're going to give you a little bonus episodes this week. So the first one came out actually last night. It's supposed to go out in the afternoon. It came out last night. So go ahead and check that out. We give our review of the Tyson Fury and Derek Chisora fight. Spoiler, Chisora did not win again. And we discussed what's next for the heavyweight division. All right. We're going to be talking about Tank and Ryan Garcia's upcoming fight. Also, Bud Crawford, David IvanEvans. If you don't know who they are, well, we'll discuss why. We discuss why you don't know who they are. So, yes, a lot going on right there. And look, I just want to just thank everybody in the chat for supporting all of us. Thank you for the continued support for Coach's channel. Thank you, Coach, for bringing us together like this. You know, this has been a lot of fun. Indeed. You know, so keep rocking with us.
Just a couple real quick things here, if I could. Ashanti, thanks for coming through. Yes, Tyler Huntley would start for the Panthers. Congrats on picking a player better than Sam Darnold. And I don't know, I don't know what that does for you, but you can have that. Shug actually had a message with his donation that he would like me to read. It's a message to the Ravens fans. It says,
what does it say?
1-2, Steelers coming for you. 3-4, Watt gonna shut the door. 5-6, Huntley gonna throw some picks. 7-8, Shug can't wait. 9-10,
yes, and Shug is a Steelers fan.
9-10, Ravens gonna lose again.
Wow.
Should. Check this out, Should. You got 5 minutes next week. We bringing you on for 5 minutes. Win or lose. Don't run.
Okay.
Should get ready.
5 minutes.
Get ready.
Next week. Win or lose. You got 5 minutes. Don't run.
Indeed.
And
don't get lost. Yes,
Jay Miller, we do go live for the major fights on Ring Kings. And yeah, Coach, look, man, look, I like to give people their flowers, bro. So, you know, this is a big thing that you put together, and the obviously the chemistry hit the ground running from day one, man. So shout out to you, your fan base, and your listeners are a big reason why I just reached 200. So I appreciate y'all as well. But y'all gotta appreciate Coach for the everything he's doing, especially breaking down the film, because he's teaching y'all a lot of stuff. Y'all need to be watching it. And I jumped into one of Coach's streams, and I'm like, man, you're a bad motherfucker with this film, man. The the way you're breaking it down. So man, yeah, big ups to you. I also like I said, Chris breaking down prospects is slept on as well. So y'all need to pay attention to that if you're looking for the next college. If y'all want to think you're getting up or early on a prospect who you think the Ravens could get or you want them to get, man, check out Chris on his Twitter and everything on breaking down some of those prospects as well.
Hey, I put everybody's channel information in the description. I did it just a second ago. So if you're not followed to anybody up here or not subscribed to anybody up here, go into the description of this live. I think if you just click it, it'll take you to their channel. Then you can subscribe and hit the bell so you can be notified when all our content drops. Because if you watch all of our content, and there's a few more guys out there that put out good content too. If you watch all that content, there's no need to even turn the TV on and watch ESPN and get 3 seconds of your favorite team or 6 seconds of your favorite team or an hour of Lamar hate. So
right.
That's where it is. So I think we all got guys that we're locked in on certain teams, like B's locked in with the Panthers, and you'll get some good quality content. You basically get more bang for your buck, in my opinion. And it's a bunch of different guys floating around from different teams, and the 4-letter networks are kind of phasing themselves out, and they're really at the point where they're about to make it hard for us because they know we phasing them out, right? For the most part, they just got TV and all this stuff, but YouTube is giving us a platform, and content creators are on the rise because I don't watch near about as much TV as I used to,
right?
Nearby, right. But if that's it, man, we're going to shut this thing down at 1:22 and 15 seconds. I appreciate everybody for coming through. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to be here with us. And yes, my camera died as soon as I said we was going to shut it down, but I'm still here. Thank you, Ms. Antoinette. Thank you. Let me see. Who was my last one before that? Right before that. Them big ones, I got to make sure I hit them up. There you go. YNG Brew. Appreciate y'all. And appreciate everybody else that donated too. We'll see y'all next Monday. Make sure you hit LBHT Crew Wednesday, Hendo Wednesday. Mike already put his out. Chris, y'all doing something? Y'all put out one last week, and so that means y'all probably been another 2 weeks before y'all put another one out. But again, appreciate everybody for coming through, man. Like, comment, subscribe, share, and we'll see y'all next Monday. Peace.